All right, man, it's Thursday night. We're getting ready to fire up bike night. Good to see you guys piling into the parking lot. Hey, I'm Chris, your engineer, 50 floors below the street level here at Cycle Source Magazine headquarters. I'm going to take you on a ride tonight with the rest of the crew from Bike Night Live. Listen, man, remember, throw up your comments, your questions, your concerns. Tell us where you're from. Welcome our Choppertown family, Cycle Source Magazine. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We got some great stuff for you tonight, including an actual live bike night. Yes, they're still doing those. It's happening. Missi's coming in from the Sugar Shack out in Indiana, man. Stick around. It's going to be a great bike night. Karen, Andrea, happy almost blow shit up day. Yeah, we agree. Right on, man. We're kind of bummed too about the fireworks displays, but hey, man, we're gonna celebrate regardless because this is America. This is America, damn it. Bike night just a couple minutes away. 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. We're going live with bike night. But listen, I want to take 1 minute and just tell you guys why we're doing this all the time. We're doing bike night every Thursday. We're doing Cannonball Chronicles. We're doing Shop Talk because Bound and Determined, swap meets on Sundays. We're going to keep this community together. As long as this thing is going on and beyond that, we're going to keep rallying for motorcyclism, as my dear late brother Charlie Brechtel called it. We're going to keep pumping out the motorcyclism. So thank you guys for joining us here and helping us keep our community together. Just about 4 minutes. Grab a cold one. Get ready. We're going live with Bike Night real shortly. Charlie Trader in the house. What's up, baby? Tucker County, West Virginia. If there's a better place on earth that God made, I'm not sure he told anybody about it, because, man, that's one of my favorite places to go hang on a motorcycle. 2 minutes. We're into the 2-minute mark, man, where we're going live with Bike Night. I want to welcome our associate producer here, Rob Nussbaum's in the house. Next week, we got a really, really great treat. I'm not sure how many of you guys know it, but Rob is actually a hell of a musician himself. He's going to be our musical guest next week. His guys have some killer original songs they're bringing on, so you don't want to miss that. Charlie Trader's just so excited that you're here tonight. Sarah Duncan, what's up? Great to see you guys in the house. Come on, hurry up, get them last couple parking spots filled up, man. We're going to go live with Bike Night. 2 minutes. Dan Benson, yeah, man, we miss Charlie too. I can't tell you how much, brother. Actually, proud to say that my band, the Black Smoke Sinners, are working on a song that Charlie and I were working on together 2 days before he passed away. So we're actually going to go through with that and record what could possibly be Charlie's last song. So keep your ears to the ground for that one. As soon as we get that one ready, Jake's working on the guitar stuff. He's coming up with some killer shit, all based on what Charlie was working on, and super proud to do that. Hey, we're just a minute away, man. Get ready. Hitting that 40-second mark, man. We're counting down quick here. Looks like we're just about ready. We're going to pull this one out of the shed, get it up onto the tracks, and we're going live with Bike Night. Get ready. Here we go.
Thinking about losing a bunch of weight. Yeah, looking like an accountant. Hey, it's the 4th of July, Bike Night Live. It's not 4th of July yet. Don't get excited. If you don't know what day it is, it's the 2nd. But this is our Independence Week special Bike Night Live. So if you got fireworks right now, you're sitting in your house or in a bar, go ahead and set them off. That's what we're looking for right now. We got a great show. We got some great music back. Jake Sherrard's back, and last week, had a little bit of a techno glitch with Pat Simmons from the Doobie Brothers cooking segment, so he's going to be back with us making some cool food, some gumbo, or was it jambalaya?
It was gumbo. Gumbo. And hey, I want to apologize everybody. Last week I had the technical thing was on me, so I'm going to take this one on myself.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, that was all Chris. I don't do anything. Sit in my basement. I don't live with my mother, though. But anyway, I am kind of sitting there. We got Billy Grotto, though. He's with us from Twisted Tea. There's Billy. There's Billy.
What's up, baby?
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Billy's afraid he's going to be on camera while he's trying to cook his dinner tonight because he's hungry. And he's so skinny, I can't imagine. He's probably just making another salad.
No, not tonight. Not tonight.
Dude, how's everything down in FLA?
It's hot as Satan's anus down here. Right
now. Well, I've never been to Satan's anus, but that sounds uncomfortable and stinky.
It's Dante's Inferno. But we had that Saharan dust cloud that was blown over, so it hasn't rained, which has been fantastic. But it's like really, really hot. Like when you go outside, you're like, what the fuck? You're like, why do I live here?
Well, it's funny, Billy. It was 95 degrees here in Iowa today, and we had like 70%, 80% humidity or something like that. Walk outside, I thought I was back in Georgia. It's miserable here too. It's miserable. It's not enough that you can't go out, can't do anything. But now we got bad weather. Now it's hot. But we'll be bitching that it's cold here in a little while. At least you won't be doing that in Florida. I mean, we'll be like, oh my God, it's 49 below. And then we will not be doing outdoor bike nights. But that's the other exciting thing that we're doing tonight. Billy, I don't know if you heard, but we're going to be doing, Missi is in Indianapolis at the Sugar Shack. There she is. Look at her head.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sugar.
Hey.
Look at that. Golly. And yes, she's in Indianapolis with Dan Starkey, and they're going to show us some bikes there later. And so that's really cool.
A real live bike night. Oh my God.
How many people are there, Missi?
I'm doing all right. Hold on here. I lost a view. Okay. So the band is playing right now, so I'm having a hard time hearing, but going pretty good. It was a little busier sooner a while ago, but it's still pretty busy out here.
Real good. Well, we can't wait to get back to you here in a little bit. So I'm glad you're getting to go be outside at a bike night. That sounds like fun. Did I mention I'm in my basement? Yes. and anybody that watches every week know that everybody that's promised to make something and send it to me for me to eat has failed on that front. I still am just in my basement.
Oh, you know who he's talking to, right?
Oh,
Heather,
you let Pat down.
I did.
Okay. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna bake her a pound cake and send it to her, and then she'll feel bad. I might do that tonight before I go to bed.
I'll beat you to it.
So
I gotta make something
that,
tonight. I might have stuff to make brookies.
We're all getting ready for Sturgis. That's all. Chris and I were on the phone. Chris, is it too early to say what we're doing in Sturgis?
No. Let's kick it off this way. So Cycle Source Magazine is super, super proud to announce that we have a new relationship with Fight TV. You can get this through your Roku, your Amazon Fire Stick, your help me out here.
Apple TV.
Apple TV.
Yeah, there you go.
You can get it through your browser. Go to fight.tv.
Fight.tv. So actually tonight, right now, you can actually go on, and our first episode is up. You guys might have seen the tank fabrication that we did, but it's up and it's running. And this is leading to the other news that we have, and I'm actually gonna let Pat talk about that. So go ahead.
Oh man! All right. Well, we're doing a cool thing out there. Chris has put together this package with Fight.tv, and we're doing 80 years in a day. And so every day I'm going to go out during the day, and I'm going to show everybody around the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in a day. But we're not just going to do your regular old, I'm going to ride my bike, look where I'm riding, and make everybody jealous that, you couldn't get to the United States or couldn't get to South Dakota to go to the rally. We're actually going to give a lot of the history and the background. And so that it's actually an opportunity to learn something about that beautiful area that existed way before the Sturgis Rally ever got there. So we're going to do all of that stuff during the day. And then at night, while I'm eating and preparing and resting for the next day, Jack Shit is going to be out on the town, and he's going to show you all the nightlife that the Sturgis Rally has to offer, and all over the place. And so it's going to be great. I was talking to Billy Grotto earlier about it, and it's just going to be an exciting happening, because it's going to be an outside the box reel, to use a cliche, but look at the Sturgis Rally. Usually what you get when people look at the Sturgis Rally is you get a bunch of drinking, and there's two hot chicks that show up to Sturgis, right? And they always get them showing their titties on screen, and it's like, and then everybody.
And they only show their titties for 2 seconds before they get arrested.
Exactly. And so all they'd want to do is show people drinking and fighting and getting arrested. We're actually going to show a completely different side of this. We're actually going to show the real Sturgis Rally that we have all know and love. And this is going to be a great year to do it. People are wondering if it's going to happen. And Chris and I had a great conversation this afternoon. And he was talking about the fact that it's the pioneer spirit that we've all become really kind of soft.
Pussies.
Yeah, pussies is what he said. I wasn't going to say it because, I'm a gentleman, but we're all just a bunch of pussies, because we don't, we're not going to go out and experience and experiment, and these guys went out. If you just go right out to Nebraska next to me, I was telling Chris, you can still see where the wagon wheels etched themselves into the bedrock, and the wagon wheel trails are still there. And so, man, South Dakota is all about that. It rings Americana and freedom, and which is what draws people there in the motorcycle community. So we're going to show all of that stuff this year, and it's going to be great, and we're really looking forward to it. So, but with Fight.tv, what you're going to be able to do is, if you can't get to Sturgis this year, the Tuesday after, you'll start being able to get it like a pay-per-view deal, just like and so I think for $14.80, if you're one of the first ones to sign up, you get a commemorative T-shirt for 80 years in a day, and you can sign up for $14.80, and you can, for how many days is it, Chris?
It works out to 180 minutes. So everything's 80. It's 80th anniversary, right. 80 years in a day, $14.80 for the program, and 180 minutes worth of coverage.
So yeah, so there you go. So you're going to get to see the whole event, and it's going to be, and you can get your buddies together, get a local bar to throw in, or your local bike night or something, and have them purchase it. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it's groundbreaking, as everything that Source Media Group does. It's groundbreaking, very much like this Bike Night.
You're so nice. You're so nice to us, Patrick.
Yeah. Well, it's the truth, Chris. It's the truth.
Jansen, one N, right?
Yeah, one end. Okay. Right on the check, just right in the bottom, kissing ass. Just in that memo mark. So I remember what it's for, because the ones where you sign that are for blowing, I hate those. That's blowing his driveway, Billy.
They're usually they're sticky.
Pat, I just want you to sign off the video that says "See you next Tuesday."
Hey, you remember when I found out what that meant?
When you got married.
Week. No, last week.
Really?
Yep. My wife and my daughter were saying it to each other about somebody, and I kept being like, what's that about? And my son, he's 28. My son Drew, he didn't know either. And they told us, and I was like, well, that's the dumbest thing ever. I never heard of it. But it makes sense now. But I would have never gotten that. That was code. So I'm not hip and cool.
It was code, but it's bad when you use that code and then your girlfriend finds out what it is, and that you've been using it for a long, long time.
Yeah. Since then, I've looked at a lot of people and said, "See you next Tuesday," and they give me a quizzical look. The first person that doesn't give me a quizzical look, I'm sure it's a confrontation. So,
and that's the kind of guy you want to hang out with anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, that's all the stuff that we got going on. We do want to thank Twisted Tea for sponsoring Twisted Tea Studios, and Chopper Town for doing all the cool electronic blitzing. They are our social media blitzkrieg crew.
Speaking of Twisted Tea, Tony Tello Sr. in the house, Boston Beer. Happy 4th, everybody. Does that name ring a bell, Billy?
Tony Tello. Tony Tello?
Tony Tello Sr. Boston in the house.
Right. I misread it. I thought it said Boston Beer. Man, I just have Chris. Boston Beer on the mind.
Oh, we better just go to our first guest, Chris, because now you can't read. I don't know what you're drinking.
Who's our first guest tonight, Pat?
Our first guest tonight is Jeremy St Valentine.
Jeremy St Valentine.
Jeremy Valentine. So, hey, Jeremy, what's up, brother?
How's it going?
I'm old and fat, but other than that, everything's going pretty good. Yeah. You look good today, though. Looks like you got a fresh haircut.
Not too fresh. I'm just sweaty. That's why it's all wet. It's about the same weather over here in Indiana that you got up where you're at.
Jesus, it's been brutal, hasn't it? Do you have air conditioning in your shop?
No, I don't have air conditioning, dude. I'll be honest with you. I hate the cold weather, and I love it. I'm fine with it. I'll take this over cold any day of the week.
Yeah, well, me too. I'd rather have this than cold. It's just I don't drink enough. Well, I forget to drink water, and I start getting really run down. So, there you go. He's got some water. He's drinking Miller Lite. That's the way to go. So, Jeremy, now you're in Indiana. What part of Indiana are you in?
If he's in Indiana, how come he's not a bike night with Missi?
Well, that's why I want to know where he's at in Indiana.
He's up in Fort Wayne.
Oh,
Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Very cool. Now
I'm
you
about
got
2
Jokers
hours from where Missy's at.
How many hours? 4?
2 hours
2
from where
hours.
Missy's at.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite a distance for a bike night. But so tell me about Joker Cycle Works, man. How long has Joker Cycle Works been around, and what do you guys like to do there?
Well, I started my shop, like legit started a business in 06. I've been building bikes since the late.
He dropped out on me, Chris. Can you hear him?
Hang on 1 second. That was me.
Wait a second, Jeremy.
I went to mute Missi for a minute because all the noise from bike night. So sorry about that, dude.
I heard you've been building bikes. You opened legit in 2006, but how long have you been building bikes?
I built my first bike in late '90s, an old shovel head. That's what I started off with, and
good man.
Started off with an old shovel and got tired of paying people to work on it, so I figured I better learn myself. So that's kind of what I did, and just got into it. And then this guy tells this guy, and this guy tells that guy, and the next thing I know, I still work full time too. I do this on the gotta have insurance for my kids and stuff, so I still do a full-time job and do this on the side.
What do you do full time?
I'm an industrial maintenance manager.
Oh man, that's good. That comes with good benefits, man. If it's like, what company do you work for?
I work for Nove Corporation, actually. We build sure track trailers.
Oh, very cool. All right.
Yep.
My wife wants me to get a real job because she says my shop doesn't make enough money. And so I asked her how much money my shop would have to make for it to be enough money. And she said, any.
It's funny because I just had before this Missi sent me the link. A guy, I helped him do his bobber, and he called me and he said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just heading home from work. I want to get the shop cleaned up a little bit because it was a wreck in here." And he goes, "Well, I was taking my bike to bike night at Fort Wayne Harley Davidson, and I kind of broke down." And I haven't heard from him for like 3 weeks. I go, "Dude, I feel like the girl at 3 o'clock in the morning you call when you come home from the bar. Like I don't hear from you at all. And now you're broke and you want me to come fix it,
Yeah, you're the motorcycle booty call of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I told him I was going to throw that out there. I told him I was going to throw that out there, and he goes, "Man, don't do that." But yeah, we got him fixed up. He's at bike night now, so he's all good to go.
Right on, man.
Hey,
now,
Pat,
what do you like working on now? You were doing shovel heads. What do you like working on now? I mean, do you work on anything?
I work on about anything. I work on some of the twin cam stuff, but I kind of stay true to like the Evo shovel head, pan head stuff. And for some reason, I don't know how it is in the rest of the country, but for some reason, it seems like iron head Sportsters are like the hottest thing ever right now.
Yeah.
That's because you can build them. You could build them on a broke as a joke, low budget rocker program.
That's true, Chris. But you know what always happens is I tell them, "Are you a mechanic?" Well, no. Well, you might go buy an Evo Sportster then, because if you're not a mechanic, you're going to spend a lot of money, or you're going to become a mechanic real fast.
Listen, here's a little known fact. Here's a little known fact about the Ironhead Sportster, and I've proven this scientifically and metaphysically. There is a magical mechanism inside an Ironhead Sportster that regenerates oil. Okay, so follow me here. Like, one of the common problems with the old Ironhead is that if you split the cases in half, you really have to be particular about getting the cases back together so they don't leak oil, right? We all agree on that.
Right. Agreed.
If you manage to put the cases back together and you're not so particular, it will start to leak oil. And I promise you, 4 years later, I have one that's sitting here that has not run, that I emptied from oil, and there is a fucking spot underneath that bike. It makes its own oil. It makes its own oil. That's the only thing I could say.
A genie from Saudi Arabia is inside there, just like willing oil. I had an 81 Ironhead, and I loved the bike. It was great. But I was always working on it. And that's what I tell these guys. I got a couple of guys that are building Ironhead Sportster choppers now in the area. And those guys don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. They're coming off of twin cam motorcycles. They've got twin cams that they take and have the oil changed at the dealership, because the dealership here gives them like lifetime oil changes or some shit when they buy a bike. I don't know what the deal is. It cut out all of us shops on oil changes, but that's okay. I stopped buying T-shirts from them.
Rob Nussbaum's on social media. He said, "Not if done right." I think that was my point. I was openly admitting that I am not one of the people that should have an Ironhead Sportster.
Well, nobody should unless they're a mechanic. And then if you're a mechanic, you're going to build a shovel head anyway for the same amount of money. Honestly, if you get an Ironhead, it's usually worn out by the time you get it. So.
Well, like when guys call me, I've had a couple Ironheads and Easy Rider and stuff, and the guys will call me and they'll say, "Hey man, I want to do an Ironhead," and I'm like, "All right, here's the thing. We're going to take your motor out, and I'm going to rip the complete motor completely apart. We're going to rebuild the whole damn thing before we even start. When I'm all done, what's my bike going to be worth?" I said, "In all honesty, you're going to have a really cool looking chopper that's for the right guy. You'll get $6,000 for. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Well, that's the only way to do them. If you tear them apart, completely rebuild them, machine everything, get it nice and tight, and then dual plug the heads and put a good carburetor on the thing. Then you can have a dual fire ignition. You can actually have a nice running bike, but man, you can just get so much money tied up in them. It's tough.
Here's what I'm working on right now for a customer. You flip this. This is
oh, yeah, buddy.
He got this engine completely redone, and he brought it up to me, and the rear cylinder doesn't have any compression. Well, it's so tight here. I took the head bolt out. I can't get the head off, so I'm going to have to pull the whole engine out to figure out why he has no compression on his rear cylinder. One thing I really dig about this bike, this guy, it was a family heirloom, so he wants to put the money in it. It was his dad's, so it's important to him. But look at how I dig what he did with that red line on this black and chrome wheel.
That brings you in mind of the Sturgis, right? You got the Sturgis going on.
And this is an Ironhead I built for an Easy Rider. So I think Missi and Michael shot this bike. This is when we did. This is I narrowed this gas tank 3 inches and extended it like 3 inches.
Hey Chris, can I get his shot on that?
What's that?
All I see is me frozen on my screen. Can I get the shot on that?
It's the shot. The live cam's up.
Okay. I'm picking it up on my other now. Okay, I can see it. I'm picking it up on my phone.
So Nick Hildebrittle, here comes my weekly. What lift do you have there?
What lift is this? This one's a Titan lift.
God, man, that guy is hard he wants a lift bad. You just pick one. Anyone's better than the one you don't have.
Yeah, that ain't no shit.
Except, see that one there. I can't get down with that foot pump lift, and not because of where they're from and all that shit. I'm beyond the age of foot pumping a lift.
Here's the thing, Chris. I'm the same way. I have obviously this one is air, this one's air, this one's actually hydraulic, and this was actually a packaging table that I added the front and back on.
Listen, those are badass though. Those are great motor tables too.
Oh, it's an awesome table. But what I was going to get rid of this mechanical lift because I've had this forever. But I was like, you know what? Be perfect is I put a piece of 1/2-inch plate steel on there. So now it's my adjustable height weld table.
There you go.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, they have their place. They're inexpensive, and you can. Obviously, you can hack anything. I've seen a lot of guys that have taken those tables and have made them air tables as well. So you can switch them up and convert them later if you want to. But really, any of those, for $1,000 to $1,500, you can buy such a nice air table now. It's really hard not to just save your penny.
This is what most of us started on right here, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I still have that shit too.
Man, I just rebuilt a transmission in a 2006 Big Dog. I put it on that. and I don't know why I started the project on. All the other lifts were full. Man, I tell you, I haven't done that in a long time, man.
Hey, seriously though, like for cheap money, what are those things? I think like $70.
I think I bought that one on clearance, Chris, for like $50 at the local hardware store.
And I'm telling you something, if the only thing you use that for in your garage is when you want to clean a set of wheels, like seriously, when you want to just throw it up real quick and spin the wheels and clean them out and shit, like that's my go-to tool for that, you know?
Well, you put your chain on, you adjust, you clean your wheel, you want to adjust your chain, you want to put a new chain on. I mean, yeah, those things are, they've got their place too. So I don't, whatever you need, but yeah, whatever lift you've got, it's better than not having one at all. So just go buy one. If you got to go to the I guess they say they're from China, but I really think they're from California. Is there a difference? I don't know.
It's the difference between China and Japan. Billy, what lift do you got in your garage?
I work on the ground, man. Old school.
Wait a minute.
Over here.
Wait a minute. Now I know you got that one hydraulic one that'll lift the bike up, or does that stay in the travel rig?
No, what I got, and it's kick ass. It's called an Easy Lift, and it's one of those deals where it's got like 2 forks that comes out.
Oh yeah.
And it lifts the bike, and the guy used to demo it at the Iron Horse, and it was the greatest demo because he would have the bike, 10 feet in the air. And
the guy used to flip it upside down. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, flip it upside down and shit. Yeah.
And a buddy of mine was doing LEDs, and he got out of it because there's 8 million LED guys. It's like what are there more of motorcycle rally? T-shirt vendor, LED guys, or jewelry people. It's pretty much your whole rally there. But anyway, he's getting out of business, and I bought the thing off him for $500.
Oh,
and
you're
like $2,000. Yeah, that thing's sick. And what's great about it for a guy who, I know enough to get in trouble. It's not like I'm wrenching like you guys all the time, but it's nice because it just folds back and it's like super compact. I just slide it in the corner of my garage and away you go. It's killer. Easy Lift, they're called. They make them here in Florida.
Oh,
American made.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Well, you should go get a deal on another one and just send me yours, and then we both have one. I love this. I like where this is going, Billy. I think we could be better friends.
Hey, could we be? I mean, our
I
friendship
think
is so tight now.
the gift of an Easy Lift would make you a better friend. Honestly.
Let me see what I can do.
I'll hook you up with some Twisted Tea and Sturgis, man.
I'll take you up on it.
Now, Jeremy, are there bike nights going on there in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
I told him you're not drinking.
Did he get that question? You have bike nights going on in Fort Wayne?
Yeah, we just got there's 2 like big shops. You got Fort Wayne Harley Davidson, and we got 469 Cycle Shop. And the owners know each other, so they like alternate Thursdays. So like this Thursday is Fort Wayne's Harley Davidson's bike night, and next Thursday will be 469's bike night. But they don't really have. We used to have a Quaker Steak and Lube. We used to tear that place up. That place was fun as hell to go to, but they kind of closed that up. So.
And you've got the Fort Wayne. I say this every time we have somebody from around there. You got the Fort Wayne Art Museum.
Oh yeah, that place is awesome.
Yeah, if you're ever there, you need to. If anybody's just driving through the area, you got to go to the Fort Wayne Art Museum. It's beautiful. Actually,
speaking of things to do up here, if you really want to see something cool, you can go up to Auburn, to the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Museum, and they still have the engineering office and stuff from the original Auburn Cord Duesenberg Museum, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, if you guys ever get up there, I'll take you to it because that place is awesome. And then out across from the auction park, they have it's called the World War II Museum. You go in there and they have a bunch of the artifacts from World War II, and the other side is like a classic cars. It's right off the interstate, I-69. And it's like 10 or $12 to go in. I used to take my kids up there, and they got the Batmobile from like what Batman? I can't remember.
Barris Auto.
No, they have that one, and then they have like the jet one from they had from the Michael Keaton. Then they have Fonzie's Triumph from Happy Days.
Wow, really?
They got Dale Earnhardt, one of Dale Earnhardt's race cars. They got so much shit, and they have monster. Actually, not many people know this, but Indiana is home of the Monster Truck Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
they put that out there too. So it's a pretty good time for $12, you know, and it's pretty decent.
So listen, for a long time, I've been trying to plan out this ultimate motorcycle ride. Like everybody's heard of the Iron Butt, 1,000 in a day, 1,500 in a day. You've obviously heard about the Four Corners, or, you know, where you hit all four corners of the United States. I want to do, and this includes Fort Wayne, Indiana, specifically. I want to do a thing called the MASH run. You know what I mean? So the object,
been talking about that for years.
The object of this would be to visit every hometown from the main stars in the TV series MASH. So Frank Burns, Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, there'd be Crabapple Cove, Maine, Hannibal, Missouri, Sun Valley, California,
Toledo, Ohio.
Right?
Yeah. That would be cool, man. That would be a big ride.
Definitely different. Definitely a different outcome, you know.
That's right. And Chris, the place that you need to go now, because Chris is a very spiritual person. He's very artistically inclined. He likes all that kind of cool stuff. I can't remember. Is it the Cathedral of Immaculate Conception?
Downtown.
Downtown. It was built in 1860. It was built during the Civil War.
That building is gorgeous.
No kidding.
That building is gorgeous, and it is right down the street from Powers Burgers, which is pretty bomb too. So,
well, we got it, Chris. We need to make a trip. Billy, you want to go?
I want to go to Fort Wayne.
Listen,
I'm going to look at my routing for Sturgis and see if I can hit it on the way up or way back down.
Every year, it seems like I blow right past Fort Wayne. I never even thought of.
I've stopped there. I stopped there one time because I'd never stopped there before, and it was worth stopping in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh.
That's really good.
Yeah, look, I got some.
Look me up.
I got some pictures up right now of the cathedral you guys are talking about.
There you go.
It's phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys ever get over this way, make sure you look me up. I'll show you everything I know anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
So, look at that. Look at that. Oh, and there's the Pope. Hey, Pope.
we still even have like the original fort from Fort Wayne when Anthony Wayne was the General Anthony Wayne founded the fort for Fort Wayne back in the Revolutionary War. That fort they is still downtown. Like you can go buy it. I did a photo shoot there a couple of years ago with a bike. You can walk in it and check it out anytime you want. Obviously, the gift shop and everything isn't open, but they just restored that. I think it was like 10 years ago. So it's right off the Maumee River, so that's pretty awesome too. They keep up on that around here.
So listen, Nick Hildebrittle is echoing the sentiments from a bunch of people in here tonight. Hoosiers. I've heard this my entire life. Can you tell me where this comes from? Like, what's behind that?
Hoosiers?
Yeah.
You may be 100% honest?
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea.
You should have lied to us. You should have lied to us.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I
got Wikipedia too. I got Wikipedia.
Hoosier is a native or inhabitant of Indiana.
Okay.
But I don't know how they picked it. I have no idea how they picked it.
Okay, so here's Wikipedia. The official demonym for a resident of the U.S. state of Indiana. The origin of the team remains a matter of debate within the state, but Hoosier was in general used in the 1840s, having been popularized by Richmond resident John Finley's 1833 poem, "The Hoosier's Nest." Anyone born in Indiana or resident at that time is considered to be a Hoosier. Indiana adopted the nickname the Hoosier State more than 150 years ago. Hoosier is used in the names of numerous Indiana-based businesses, organizations. Hoosier is also the name of the Indiana University athletic teams and 7 active and 1 disbanded athletic conference in Indiana High School Athletic Association. The word Hoosier in their name, as there is no accepted embodiment of a Hoosier, the IU schools are represented through their letters and colors alone. In addition to general acceptance by residents of Indiana, the term is the official demonym according to the U.S. Government Publishing Office. There you go.
See, I just thought it was. I thought it was "Who's your daddy?" I thought that's where it came from. Like who's your daddy?
I wasn't born here. That's why I didn't know. I wasn't born here. I didn't know. Hey, look at this. My missus is sucking up. Look at this.
Hey.
Oh, look at that, Billy.
Look, Billy's missing it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
She just walked in with a 6-pack and said, "Here you go, babe." I'm like, "Look, we're sucking up so bad right now."
They look cold too. God, that thing's got like some lettuce. Like...
She knows better than to bring me warm beer, bud.
Hey, Billy, I can't imagine who would drink that kind of stuff, man. I don't even know. Well, I got a nice cold can here too for you.
Look at this, man.
I heard guys in Iowa really like it.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of weird people out here.
Right on.
I don't even drink tea. I'm the only Southerner I know that doesn't drink tea. And
I was just out in Iowa, so I figured you guys all drink tea out there because it was everywhere.
Yeah, well, I'm from Georgia and North Carolina, so sweet tea, like sugar with a little tea in it, is kind of the state drink down there in Georgia. But I've never been a tea drinker, and but twisted tea is good because twisted tea has alcohol in it.
Right.
Also, I'm a big fan of the Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, that's my favorite iced tea too.
Billy, what is that? What is that one that I really dig? What's the flavor of the one I really dig?
The raspberry.
Is that it? Raspberry?
The raspberry. And we got
I had that last Friday.
When I'm on the camera, I feel like I'm only getting half my face.
There's plenty of your face on the camera.
Yeah, you don't want a lot of it. The raspberry is good, but right now, that's out now. We have black cherry for summer, and we also have something called passion fruit.
Oh, right on.
Oh, that sounds
very
good.
Fruity. Yeah, it's very fruity.
Hey, listen, I'm enough of a man that I can drink a fruity drink. I don't care.
You are fruity enough that you can drink a man's
absolutely.
So, no, that sounds good. I like all the recipes that Billy's been coming up with using twisted tea, so I can't wait till we get back to that. So that's good. Hey, Billy, what are you eating, by the way?
I had a little hack over here. I had some chicken cutlets, but I didn't have any breadcrumbs, so I used shake and bake, and it's very good. I didn't bake them in the oven. I just panned them in the fry right here, right as we're talking, and I just put them in the frying pan. But it's terribly salty.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're supposed to bake the shake and bake and not use it as breadcrumbs. But look, I mean, they look good. Look at this thing. It came out pretty good.
Yeah, that does look pretty good.
Didn't burn it. Both sides. Look at that.
Oh.
Hey, fellas. Debbie Purdue Lister has got an answer about the Hoosier thing. She said, being funny, I heard it was in the early days of Indiana when someone came to your door, they asked, "Who's there?" So.
Really?
Little folklore for you.
Right.
Urban legend.
I just did read also in canal records from the 1820s that they called men that were working, the Indiana workers there, they called them Hoosiers men. And so in canal records as far back as 1820, even before they were a state, it was they were being called Hoosiers. So Hoosiers, so maybe some kind of canal word. Maybe it's got some French root.
Yeah.
You would have figured the state would have come up with a better fucking story than this, though, right?
Jeremy, even though you're not from there, you know as much as everyone else that's born and bred.
Yeah. I wasn't born here either, but I've been asked that question so many times. I'm like, listen, I have no idea. You can Google it, and you're still not going to have no idea. There you go.
Now, Jeremy, what events do you have that you're planning on going to? You're gonna be with us out in Sturgis?
I'm not 100% for sure yet if I'm gonna make Sturgis or not. Got some family obligations I got to attend to here. We have a couple local venues I'll get down to. They have Hog Days down in Marion, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but have you guys been to the Harley Davidson Museum and read the plaques? The flat track racing originated in Marion, Indiana. So they do a show down there, a bike show, 3-day deal, and they have some flat tracking and they have some vendors and stuff. It's more of it isn't a huge scale thing, but it's pretty cool that they keep the memory of that alive. Actually, you got to talk about the Hoosier thing. I actually had somebody say, why do they call Harley hogs? You ever heard that? You ever heard that story behind that?
I know that one.
Yeah.
And I
Let's hear it.
Chris, what version? I've heard it 2 versions. What version do you know?
The race team that showed up with their little pig mascot. Yep.
And then the other one is
a victory lap.
The bikes were so big they didn't move, so they called them hogs.
Well, no, listen to what he's saying about the victory lap.
So the victory lap, when he stopped, they put the piglet on his between his legs, and he took a victory lap with the pig between his legs, and that's what started the whole hog thing.
And the other racers and the fans said, there come the Harley Hogs.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
cool.
So, and then the other one was when I guess when lighter bikes began being introduced into the market, and Harleys were bigger and not as nimble or whatever, and so they called them hogs, because they moved like pigs. And now it's because all of us are fat that ride them, most of us, and so they should just say, hey, here come those Harley hogs. So,
I thought that they named it after the Harley Owners Group. Oh no, that came after.
That came after. Hey Billy, why don't you take another bite?
After.
Got it.
Yeah. You join that, and you have to have a cigar. You do that, you got to have a cigar, a beer gut, a bad mustache, and an awful laugh.
and a leather vest with a lot of patches.
Well, one of the
That's
things
right.
I love about our hobby is that our community is that you can be old, ugly, and fat and still be cool. And those are just the women, right?
Oh man.
There he goes. See?
Oh, damn.
Now we got a show.
Oh,
Now we
yeah.
got a show.
Pat's off the rails. Somebody tell him to shut up.
Who's that guy beside you, Missi? Who's that?
Oh, wait a minute. You guys,
Is that Dan Starkey right there?
hang on. I got to bring Missi back on. You caught me with my compliment down.
All right, we're switching gears. Chris is switching
Hello.
gears. There's Missi.
Hey guys.
Hi, Missi.
Hi.
So bike night still rock. Look at the beautiful sky out there, the sun.
The sun. It's
Hey,
beautiful.
Chris, they can't see her. All they see is me and Billy back and forth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
I was so
There we go.
busy looking
There
at the
I am.
picture.
Come on over, guys. Come on over. So I found some misfits around here. We got Dan Starkey and Benny and Amy Stucker. And
Benny,
some guys
what's
over
up,
here.
man?
Hey, that's some good people behind you right there.
Yeah, they are.
That's good people right
Wow. You know you love another man with
heard I was tasty.
Ew.
Ooh, and it's hot out there too.
It is hot
That's a
out
bu-
here.
Bunch of good people you're hanging with down there in Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, we're having a good time. That is Jeremy Valentine.
What's going on? How you doing, Hoss?
I
Miss
gotta
you
come
too,
up and
bud.
take pictures of your bike soon.
Come on up, buddy. Anytime you
Promise.
want. You stay the night and everything.
He said, "Come on up whenever."
right on.
It looks good out there, Missi. So, what kind of bikes are they getting out there?
Oh, the downward way. So there's quite a few stock bikes. I saw a sporty chopper. There's a cool Volkswagen trike over there. It's a 68. And I saw a 61 dual glide pull in a while ago. I don't know where he went though. I think he parked in the back. But
Are you going to hunt
That's,
them down for us later?
That's 61. Get on that shit.
I could do that.
Yeah, that's sporty and that Duoglide. That'd be cool to see. Well, I know you've been getting to listen to some music there, but we haven't gotten to listen to any music here. Chris, I want to ask a trivia question. Then can we listen to some of our good friend Jake Sherrard tonight?
Absolutely. You
All
called
right.
the
Well,
ball.
here's
All right.
the trivia question is this. What year did the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club start?
Ooh.
So there you go. While we're listening to some music, tell us when the Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club started.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jake Sherrod from the Black Smoke Sinners coming to you from Austin, Texas. Hope you guys are having a good time at Bike Night. I'll play a couple songs for you here. Hope you enjoy it. Say I've been missing you. It's the worst thing possible I could ever do. To sleep one more night next to you should be out of the question. Don't ask me no questions. If I love love you because I don't. I don't love you. Selfish, don't love nobody. I can't love you like you should be loved. Don't talk crazy. Killing yourself won't change a goddamn thing. It's help that you need. I've no place down the street. The storm's moving in. There's been raining for 5 whole days. And no, now's not the best time. But I just gotta say that I don't love you, yeah. Selfish, don't love nobody, yeah. I can't love you like you should be loved. Was it an accident? A broken heart, the bullet mark was all that she left. Ask if I give a damn. Should be out of the question. Don't ask me no questions, 'cause I don't love you. Selfish, don't love nobody. Love you like you should be loved. I don't love you. Selfish, don't love nobody.
Really good. Man, I could have listened to that forever. Hey, we're going to head back out to Missi because Missy's supposed to be tracking some people down. So, and then we're going to get to some cooking because we want to see Pat Simmons cook because he's such an attractive man. Hey, Chris, let's find Missi again, see if she did her job. She did her job.
Look at that.
Looky there.
Man, that's a 61. Huh?
Okay.
I got actually the camera.
All right. Can you watch the camera, Dan?
I can run the camera.
Okay.
Take it
All
out
right.
of the thing. Hold on.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Sorry. I actually have a real cameraman now. So
Hey, now.
instead of my tripod.
Well,
All
it's
right,
Dan.
cool.
Don't get too excited, Chris.
All right. So we have this beautiful bike here. And what I found out is this guy is a huge fan of Chris Cowan.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
Yes. So I'm going to give him like part of my headphone here so he can hear you.
Dude, beautiful
Okay.
motorcycle, beautiful bike.
Thank you.
Tell us about that machine.
I built it bolt by bolt. It's a 1961 FLH. First thing I bought with the engine cases, and yeah, about 8 years ago. It's a repaint, but I got my paint from John Pierce at Pierce Color Ride. I don't know. It's a
Hey,
good motorcycle.
I'm down with repaints, man. I say the same thing all the time. God bless those guys that find original paint stuff. But, you think about the guy that went into the dealership to buy that motorcycle. He didn't go in and say, I want the shittiest, rusty, old-looking motorcycle. He wanted the good paint and the chrome and everything, man. So, like, if you get one that's halfway in and halfway out, like, I would take it that way. I would go that. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on a 48 right now, and we're going to dress it up like a prom whore.
Well, you know,
Nice,
and Karen
nice.
made that same comment on her social media. You know, we had her a few weeks ago, and about people wanting her, you saying, "Oh, your bike's not going to be completely original." You know, oh my God, you're not going to be 100-point bike at Amelia Island. But those guys didn't go in and want the shittiest paint job. They also didn't want a bike that looked like everybody else. So immediately when they got home, they took it apart and did something to it.
Yeah.
And that was it. So now let me ask you a question. Missy? What's this guy's name again? Chris's fan?
Ben.
Ken?
Ben Stacy, right?
Did your fandom of Chris Callan begin with motorcycles or his porn career?
I only caught part of that, but just picking up the magazine and I don't know, seeing the shit he posts online and stuff. I will say I'm a huge fan of fucking Beaner, though.
Oh, right on.
Beaner's a bad motherfucker, man. I went to the smokeout one year, and on the way back, I was like 500 miles away from the smokeout. We broke down on the side of the road, and Beaner shows up in a white minivan and pulls over on the side of the road. And the first thing he says was, "Don't tell anybody you saw me in a minivan."
In a minivan?
Dave knows what it's like to be broken down. Every time I've seen him, he's been broken down. On his
Hey, Ben, I don't know how long you've been going to smokeouts, but do you remember when Beaner used to bring a whole wardrobe trailer with him? Like, throughout the smokeout, he would have 16 different outfit changes.
Yes.
Man.
I could see that.
Yep. But Beaner is a bad dude.
You're good. Yeah, I know. It sucks only having one headphone in.
But yeah, long story short, he talked a lot. He talked a lot on the side of the road.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
Hey, Missy, we're only going to do one trivia tonight. So let's go ahead and hook Ben up with a Spectro Oil t-shirt. How's that sound?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a cool thing. And Chris will sign it.
Shut up, Pat.
Oh,
And
awesome.
he'll wear it for a day. So it'll have a stank on it.
I need another
just
one.
got a free t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, free t-shirt.
Yeah, he's like, I don't
Awesome.
care. As long as I got a free t-shirt, I don't care.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thanks for
Thank
reading
you.
the magazine.
He said
Yeah,
it
man.
was in the magazine.
Hey, Chris, I was going to kind of elaborate on what you said about these guys in the original paint bikes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, man, is like these guys that bought that stuff new, they don't want to see it looking like you were saying, like looking like all shitty and everything. You know what I mean? So if you take, and it doesn't matter if it's his bike or anybody's bike, if you buy something, you put your heart in it and you do what you think you can do with it and you do the best you can with what you got and you're riding it, that's cool. I don't care what anybody says. That's cool.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
No doubt.
That's definitely what it's about.
If you put the wrench time in and you throw your leg over that thing and it takes you where you want to go, that is fucking awesome.
But specifically, I talk about the cats that are obsessed with that OG look so much to the point that they'll take a beautiful paint job and then,
Distress it.
artificially distress it to go after. I mean, those guys got bikes that look that way from use, from enjoyment. I'm down for that.
They earned every bit of the paint job. Exactly.
Well, I've got a 28 JD Harley Davidson here, and an old man that owns it. He's 81 years old. He's also got a 58 Impala that he bought when he came back from, as he says, killing men in the South China Sea. And when he got back, he was 20 years old, and all he could afford was a white 58 Impala when he got back, but he really wanted a dark blue one. The thing was 2 years old, and he took it into his dad's garage, and he just painted it with a paintbrush. And the thing is, he's still got that car, and it's all white now. All that paint fell off of it, but he actually ended up protecting the original paint with all that house paint that he put on it. But yeah, man, you make it your own. So, Missy, what else did you find out there?
Missy? There.
Hello, are you there?
Yep.
Sorry, they were talking to me and I shut the mic off. I'm sorry. I actually found there's a Volkswagen trike. There's a bunch of stuff out here today.
Bunch of people
So-
too. Look at that.
Yeah, that place is
This
crowded.
busy, man.
So
The Sugar Shack.
listen, do you have any information for us about the Sugar Shack? Because I actually have their Facebook page up. Let me bring that up while you're walking around for a second. You guys are.
She about fell off.
In the
Uh-oh.
area, the Sugar
That'd
Shack
be
is the
good.
place to hang out. Missy's checking it out tonight.
It's actually over on Brookville Road on the east side of Indy, the southeast side of Indy. And they've been doing bike nights here for a long time. I moved out of Indianapolis in 2014, and we were coming here, for quite a few years before that. So it's definitely one of the bigger bike nights in the area. And they have some free food and cold beer, and it's a great place to hang out.
Hey, Chris, a funny thing, you're pulling that stuff up, and I'm always trying to be helpful and trying to look smarter than I am, which I shouldn't because it always makes me look dumb. But I saw on their website that tag for Silverbirds, and I thought, oh, that's a cool logo. That must be the band that's playing or something. So I just looked up Silverbirds, Indiana, and what pulled up was the Cremation Society of Indiana. I don't. What the hell are they doing at the Sugar Shack?
That's a little scary.
That's the band.
Oh, that is the band.
That is
Okay.
the band. And
I figured that was a band.
And one thing I want to tell you, and you have to be from Indiana or maybe Illinois or Iowa to understand all this, but they have one of the best pork tenderloin sandwiches, and that was the first thing I did when I got here today.
Oh man!
First thing she did when she got to the
Get a
Sugar
picture of
Shack
that.
was get porked.
Get
Was
pork,
get
yeah.
Yeah.
I know you've been to Pizza King.
Well, that answers the question. What's in Missy's box for tonight, huh?
Wait a minute. I heard
Listen, I know
Jeremy.
she's been to Pizza King. I know she's been to Pizza King since she's been in Indiana. I know she's been to Pizza King.
I have not been to Pizza King yet. That'll be on Saturday when I go to my sister's house.
But she knows if she comes home without Pizza King, the door's locked.
Oh yeah, because Chris and Heather and Amelia now like Pizza King too.
That's right.
So
Nice. Well, Missy, that
It's
looks
good.
like a fun time out there. It really does. So I'm enjoying
Hey.
that. I got to send you around every place. I feel like I'm on.
you want to know the best part is I got to ride my bike here tonight, and it was about
You shut
I'm
your
about
mouth.
40 minutes away. So it was actually a nice ride. So it was awesome.
That's good. Yeah, I don't ride motorcycles anymore, but I hear it's a lot of fun. I don't know.
It is a lot of fun. You should try it sometime, Pat.
I feel bad. I got 6 bikes in the garage, and one of them runs now, and it's not a Harley, it's a Norton. That's all I got. I gotta get my shit together before Sturgis happens.
I was gonna say, Pat, you better get something before Sturgis.
I know. I've got they're all real close. I'm waiting on seats and paint and an open primary. Well, I've got the primary now. I just got to put it on the bike. I got tired of my primary leak on my road.
You
Kings.
only have about like a month, right?
Yeah, I know. It's getting tight. It's getting tight.
Hey, Missy.
Yes. Well,
All right, Miss-
some of us have to be there like a week early. So
Oh yeah, that's not me. I got my son. My son's coming into town. My youngest is coming in, and he's staying up till Thursday the 6th, and then so I'm going to leave either that afternoon after he flies out, or the next morning that Friday. So I was going to get out there a couple of days early, but I don't ever see this kid. He's 22, so I got to see him because, what will he do for money if he doesn't come see me? But, hey, we got a winner with trivia. We got Karen Moore is the winner chicken dinner, Heather says tonight. Karen Moore. What? A Spectro oil hat. So there you go. You get a Spectro hat.
What was the winning answer?
1936.
They're leaving with that trike. So let's run over here really quick.
Oh, Chris, she found another. Oh, there's the trike. Does this qualify as a motorcycle, Chris?
It does, man. This was a traditional thing from forever.
Yeah.
The Volkswagen trike conversions.
I just wanted to get your opinion. I don't have one on it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think they're cool. She doesn't have wheelie bars on that thing. God, man, you couldn't get me to ride one without wheelie bars.
Get down, baby. Look at her go too.
Look at
They
that,
said
man.
that they said they had to put weight in the front because it kept doing too many wheelies.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. I've ridden those before, and if they don't have wheelie bars, I don't get on them because you dump that clutch, you're gonna stand
Oh,
up.
that's some nice paint. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
68
super nice.
B-dub truck.
Right on, man.
Sounds good too. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll read you the whole answer here. Jack Pine Gypsies Motorcycle Club started in 1936. This next part nobody cares about. I'm going to read it anyway. Within American Motorcycle Association's charter in 37. The AMA began promoting our racing events, which started the rally in Sturgis on August 14th, 1938. That weekend celebration in 1938 had a lineup of only 9 racers and a small audience watching the races. What's funny is the way this is written on my run a show is it says, with a small audience watching the races, prize Spectra oil hat. So it's almost like Spectra Oils gave the first prize. It was a hat to the winner in but it wasn't. It's 1937. I don't know why I do know why, but the AMA, it's like with Laconia, it wasn't real until, it got some corporate endorsements. I'm down with the man all the time. So down with the man. But 1936 is the correct answer, unless you're talking to somebody that's in the AMA, and then it's 1937 because they didn't exist before then. But I don't think we're losing any sponsor money from the AMA saying that, are we, Chris?
Nope.
Okay, very good. I didn't think so. All right. But sorry if that – no, I'm not. Never mind. Now what I want us to move on to, though, is, Chris, I want to see Pat Simmons cook something. Billy, are you ready to see Pat Simmons cook something?
Am I ever? I'm ready. I'm like with bated breath. I'm ready.
Should he do it in the Twisted Tea kitchen?
I would love to see that happen.
Billy's moved to the couch. You see that?
I have. I'm done with dinner. But I'm only when I see myself on screen, you get like half my face. So I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. But anyway.
You're actually all there. You're fine.
Well, your whole face is there.
All right,
I want to see Pat tear it up in the Twisted Tea kitchen.
Hey everybody, I'm Pat Simmons, and I'm gonna make some gumbo this afternoon. People have been asking me about it, a few people, and it's kind of one of the things I love to make. I love New Orleans and the whole culture, but gumbo is a huge part of that culture. I'll show you how I do it. I got my own recipe, but I've been eating it for years in New Orleans, and I taken a little bit of everybody's recipe and I come up with my own version. First of all, one of the most important things in gumbo is you got to make a roux. All a roux is butter and flour. So I take flour and I'll probably use about a cube of butter, and then the flour I just put in and I keep thickening it until I reach a point where it's kind of how I like it. I would say 4 or 5 tablespoons for me. I'm making 11 quarts, so it's a lot of soup. Okay, so here's all the ingredients anyway. I like to do everything organic. I really feel like I can, since I'm making it. Right, Gumby? Right, man. So I start out, I make my roux, and then I pour in some broth. So today I'm using chicken broth, bone broth. You can use vegetable broth if you want to, but I'm using chicken broth. I like the little bit of tomato flavoring to my gumbo. So, I use strained tomatoes and some crushed tomatoes. Onions, I'll use 3 of them. A pepper, you can use a green pepper. We got an orange pepper today. They kind of taste the same, but a sweet kind of a pepper. I love that. Celery, a lot of celery. I like that. And then sausage is one of the meats I love to use. So I've got chicken apple sausage that I'm going to use here, organic. I also use a sweet Italian sausage that gives it another kind of undertaste that I think is really great. And you got to have andouille sausage, and this is kind of spicy. We're going to use fresh okra here today. Island grown fresh okra. I think that's going to be really great. It's a part of of the traditional recipe for gumbo. It's a thickener, and then it's a, you know, Southern identity vegetable, but it adds great flavor and thickens the soup. The Marsala wine, gotta have it. I would say by the time I'm done, I've probably got a quarter cup of Marsala wine in there as well. Very important herbs, thyme and basil, and garlic is another one. I don't have the garlic here, but basil and thyme in equal proportions. You know, sometimes gumbo can be kind of flat, but this really adds the flavor. Salt it to taste, pepper, of course. In the end, I make rice, you know, just steamed rice, white rice. You can use brown rice, whatever you like. But I just use it as a garnish, maybe a couple tablespoons for each bowl as I serve it. And we're going to use chicken breasts and thighs here today. This is really a chicken gumbo for all intents and purposes. You can make it with seafood or however you like it, beef, whatever you like in your gumbo. So we got everything all cut up here. Onions, celery, sliced okra. We're going to add a little bit more, so we'll have a little extra okra because I like that. Chopped up pepper, bell pepper, sausage all chopped up, chicken all chopped up. Here's our herbs. Don't forget the Marsala wine. We'll put all this stuff in as we go, and let's go make the roux. Now, first we melt butter until it turns to liquid. Then we're going to add flour. In this case, we're using gluten-free flour. What the heck? I'm going to do about 4 or 5 tablespoons as we go. I do a tablespoon at a time. I'll put it in, and then I whisk it. And you want to do it kind of slow. You don't want to burn the butter. You just want it to simmer. So I keep it on low mostly. And it takes a while. You have to keep doing it until it turns to a cafe au lait color, light brown. So our roux are looking good. You can see it's starting to turn a chocolatey color. You can't get it too dark. If you get it too dark and burn it,
Assistant.
North Coast Brewery, Scribner. What is it? Scrimshaw, Scribner, Scrimshaw.
Uh-oh, take that away from him. Give me that. Keep cooking.
The end of the roux here, as it turns to a nice kind of chocolatey color. That's as dark as I want to get it. I don't want to burn it. Burnt roux. Not the optimum. You want it to be just right. As soon as I finish the roux, I like to pour the broth in there right away.
Who the hell is this?
Oh, by the way, there is a theme here. It's called Gumbo for Gumby. A lot of people don't realize Gumby is from the deep south. Did they name gumbo after you, or were you named after gumbo?
Here, you think you need some more of this? Okay. Keep going. All right, that's enough, Gumby.
That's enough for you. So I'm going to add some herbs now. Thyme and basil. I've got two tablespoons of each. 2 tablespoons of thyme, 2 tablespoons of basil. I'm going to go ahead and put my Marsala in right now. I'll probably add some now, and I always end up adding some later, but you know, big helping of Marsala wine.
Shit.
A little bit more wine. A little garlic. A lot of people would use fresh. I'm not going to do that. I like this powdered stuff, really good. And that's just to taste, you know. I like more garlic more than less, right? So I'm just going to start throwing stuff in there. My tomatoes, strained tomatoes first. Here's some, Chris, will you open this for me? These are strained tomatoes, crushed tomatoes.
Yes,
They're going in there too. Start putting the all the veggies. Here's the onions and the celery going in, the sausage. no particular order, the okra, chicken, peppers, and there is a little leeway. You can make it your own, add whatever you feel like adding, and we'll mix it up and let it boil. Okay, we'll see you in half an hour. Put more broth in here. You can see it gets almost to the top, but it's going to be a nice thick gumbo. That's the way to have it, you know. It's almost a stew. So we're moving right along. Here we have a Pass a Good Time with Justin Wilson. Hey, woo-hee! A little bit more, a little bit of hot sauce. Oh, a couple things I forgot. I do put a little hot sauce in. It's not really hot, you know. It's more for spice than anything. A little Tabasco. So that it needs to be in there. Put a little more. Put a little in there. And I have some gumbo filet, which is a kind of a sassafras mixture, and that also helps with the flavors. So a couple things I forgot. So many things, yeah. But you can do gumbo the way you want to do gumbo. That's what it's all about. You know, add the things that you like. It was really a kind of a common thing that people made at home with whatever they had left over. So gumbo.
Yum, we're having gumbo.
We're all finished, and there it is. My grandson brought us over some green onions, which is kind of nice little garnish on top. Traditional, grew it themselves, organic. My son and my grandson, the farmers. So enjoy your gumbo when you make it. We love it every time, and it's better as you know as the week goes on. It gets better, you know, after a while. So thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in. See you later. Aloha.
That's awesome, man.
That was awesome.
Billy, give me your rundown on this. How did Pat do with the Twisted Tea Kitchen?
Well, let me get back into my kitchen so I can properly critique. I thought he did a great job. I would have loved to see him cook with some twisted tea in there. I thought that would have been fantastic. But no, he did a great job. And you know what was really cool about what he said is that with the gumbo, you know, you customize it, man. It's like your way. Gumbo is kind of like a motorcycle. You know, it's like you put on it and you could customize it however you want. You know, I mean, if you want to have chicken in there, you put chicken, you put, you know, whatever. I wouldn't use, you know, just about anything in there you could. Yeah, and I thought he did a good job, man. It was cool.
Yes. Yeah, that looked good, man. I'm telling you, I'm hungry now. Unlike you, I didn't cook during the show, and nobody sent me any food, so I'm just in my basement. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Just to remind everybody, Pat's ingredients list that you see up on the screen now and his directions for identically matching as best your ability his gumbo will be up on the CycleSource website tomorrow. We'll put this up there for you along with the video of him doing this. And I want to say from everybody at the Twisted Tea Kitchen to CycleSource Magazine and here at Bike Night Live, thank you so much for doing that for us, because that was a really big thing. I mean, anybody that's got to spend any time with Pat, he's awesome and he's that way. But like, you know, to have Pat take his time to put that together and do that for us, that was killer, man. So thank you.
Yeah, man, that was cool. Hey, and I know a lot of times people get, I know I do, because I'm surrounded by people like Chris and Heather and Billy Grotto. And so, I'm always with celebrities. They come visit me in my basement. I don't know if I mentioned them in my basement, but anyway, and I'm hungry. But no, that was really cool. And it was cool just to have he and Chris last week. It was her birthday. His wife come on and chit chat with us. So that was nice. So, they're older musicians. So, whenever you see them out playing, hit them up. Social Security is not what it used to be. So like we always say.
Here we go.
Actually, what I wanted to say was we didn't, he had it up on a board, but if we can plug Jake Sherrard too, he's a working musician. Has been out of work with this whole thing. Bars are still closed. That's the first thing they close, because it's the smartest fucking virus we've ever seen. It can tell the difference between a protest and a bar. I'm not exactly sure how I can, but you can catch it in a bar. But it's even smarter than that, because in California, if you serve food in the bar, you can't catch it, because only the bars that don't serve food. So apparently, it's a smart virus. This thing is, or it's really stupid. I'm not sure, but anyway. So let's put up Jake's name up there. All the musicians, throw $5 in his pocket, and that'll get him down the road a little bit further. So
yeah, buddy.
Well, guys, we're coming to the end of bike night here. We hate to do it, but we don't want people riding home in the dark, and it's about to get dark. We want people to have a good ride home. But before we go, we're going to do word on the street.
Word on the street. That's right.
See, I did that all proper and good.
You did, man. Chris, you've been on it tonight. I want to tell you, I didn't hear any of. I didn't feel like I was listening to Lou Gehrig's big speech. So that was real nice to me.
Oh.
Hey, I haven't done it. Well, I've probably done something wrong, but nothing blatant. I'm sober, so that's good. But anyway, word on the street tonight is a good one, and I'll go ahead and use Heather's, because mine probably. I always take mine to a bad place. My word on the street's never. It's never good, because it's always a bad word. But let's talk about something. What's your favorite ride? I'm going to ask Billy and Missi and Jeremy, Heather and Chris. What's your favorite ride? But I'm going to change it. Not just anywhere in the world. What's your favorite ride where you live? If somebody came to where you are, where would you take them to ride?
Can I go first?
Yes.
Can I go first?
No, Jeremy's going first.
No, wait. Her battery's going to die.
I got 10% left.
No, she wins. She's missing.
Okay. So here in Indiana, hold on.
She might not win.
No.
Go ahead.
It's on Do Not Disturb, but a call came through anyway. So here in Indiana, I would take people down south to the Nashville area. Down to the Nashville area. Nashville, Bloomington, and down around southern Indiana, because that's where it's beautiful.
Cool.
Right on.
All right, Nashville. What about you, Jeremy?
She's right. It's gorgeous down the Brown County area, down that in the Madison area. They have a lot of wineries down in the Madison area. They have the regatta, the boat races, and it's gorgeous riding down there.
Yes, that's a good place too.
Yeah, Madison is phenomenal. But for me, it's kind of crazy. I got up one morning and I took off on my bike, and I don't know, it's probably about 6:30, and I was just.
Oh.
Let's go back to Missi.
The sun was coming up. There's nobody around, and I seen some deer off in the field. There's some deer off in the field. And the sun was coming up, and the sky was as blue as it could be. And I was just like, you know what? This is what everybody misses. They're so programmed to chase money and chase dollars that they forget to live. And this is that one. It was my little one moment in time that it was just like, this is Indiana. This is a great road. It's Indiana, and this is what it's about.
Yeah, buddy.
The one thing I can tell, I say all the time is, everybody gets so worried and busy about making money, they forget to make time for the people they love. They forget to make time for the people that mean something to them. And I say this all the time, make the time. It doesn't take that long. Make the time and enjoy. We're here for a short time, so enjoy it, Doesn't matter where you're at.
And if you don't have
Comment
the time,
of the night. Yep.
And if you don't have the time, just go ahead and eliminate more people out of your life, and then you'll have more time to get extra professional. Billy, if you were going to take us on a ride in Florida, where would you take us down there by you?
So Florida is pretty one-dimensional. I mean, everybody's been here. It's like, if Florida, I hope you like golfing, fishing, or drugs, because the riding isn't tremendous. But what I would do is we would go over to Palm Beach Island, and we'd ride all the way down the coast, and we go all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, and we get to see all the, $billion houses, and all the ocean on the one side, and the the 1%, and not 1% bikers, 1% of the of the population that control all the money, all their houses, and it's a fun ride. You know, take a putt down the beach. Man.
Yeah, man. Chris, where would we go ride if I came to visit you and we actually got to ride a motorcycle?
You know, I'm super lucky, and I'm just gonna say this right now. There is any road in any direction. I got hills and valleys and twisties, but my favorite thing to do, literally, when I have a couple minutes or a couple hours, we have a couple different loops that we take through the Allegheny Mountains, and we always end up at this little custard stand. It's a little family-owned custard stand that make the most kick-ass hamburgers on the planet. They have, like, seriously traditional custard, really badass, and it's kind of, you know, maybe I'm just embracing my inner old guy, but it's like one of the coolest things, man. You know, we take that little loop, see some of the scenes, cross over the river a couple times, come up through out of the valley, hit our little custard stand, and then that's our deal, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's awesome.
Well, here is right in my area in Iowa is where Bridges of Madison County, that movie was filmed, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so we've got a bunch of covered bridges.
Nice.
But out here, everybody jokes that it's flat, but I mean, it's not that flat. We got some rolling hills, and now with the corn coming up, it's really starting to really be beautiful. It really isolates you on both sides, and you kind of it's quiet. There's not a lot of wind, and so we'd go ride around and check out some of those badass bridges, and then we'd ride into town and we'd check out the Church of Choppers. Mr. Wright owns a bar called Kung Fu Tap and Taco.
Yeah, buddy.
Some beers, man.
Legendary place. Well, Missy, you want to sign off for us? Tell everybody how much we love them at the Sugar Shack.
We love it here at the Sugar Shack. It's been a great night out here. The band is killer. I don't know if you guys can see them back there. Everybody's just hanging out, having a good time. Lots of bikes, great food, cold beer, and it's been a great time.
Right
awesome. Thank you, Missi. We really appreciate it. Jeremy, thanks for being with us. Billy Grotto, always.
I appreciate
thanks.
the invite.
No, Jeremy,
Jeremy, for joining
thanks
us.
again. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you so much.
Anytime, man. You guys just let me know. I'll come on anytime. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, man, you be good. And, keep it between the ditches. And guys, don't forget to go to the Cycle Source magazine page. This is just one of many shows that Source Media Group does. We've got Sunday night is the big night. I mean, you've made it if you can get on that show right there. On Shop Talk, that's the big deal right there. That's a Super Bowl right there of the shows. We've got Cannonball Chronicles on Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings, the Cyber Swap Meet, which is great. I bought a transmission Sunday morning off of there, so they got a lot of great deals going on there. And what else is there, Chris? There's I
got Billy up on the screen because I want to remind everybody how great it is. You know, when we very first started this, the Bike Night Live, this was our second show out of the gate after Shop Talk. We're getting ready to launch our fifth show, which I'm going to announce here again tonight. We talked about it last night on Cannonball Chronicles, but this Tuesday coming up, we're launching our fifth show. It's going to be called Coast to Coast, Life with the Motorcycle, featuring Chris Simmons. And Chris is going to have an outrageous show. It's going to be fantastic. So put that on your calendars. But Billy signed right up to help us out with this, man. You know, we're coming to you live with Bike Night every week out of the Twisted Tea Studios. Billy signed up to do these cooking segments and try to keep the camaraderie and the spirit and the brotherhood of all of this community together. And we seriously appreciate that. I'm going to take a minute to remind you guys that we are in the middle of the annual Twisted Tea program where Billy and his company feature a motorcycle. They have a motorcycle built, custom motorcycle with the Twisted Tea badging on it, right on there, so you can show your love for the product. And this is their way to say thank you back to the community. Literally, all you have to do is text 24587 or go to twistedtea.com. You can sign up for a chance to win this thing absolutely free. You don't have to buy a Cycle Source t-shirt. You don't have to buy a Twisted tee. This is their way of saying thank you back to the whole motorcycle community. So make sure you check that out. That thing is going to be in Sturgis with us. We cannot wait to be there with that. But Billy, one more time, brother, we just want to say thank you so much for all of this stuff you do.
Oh, listen, man, thanks for allowing us to do it. I mean, this is what we do for one another. That's what's the greatest thing about the motorcycle industry. We take care of our own.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, Billy, I do appreciate you all the time, brother. I really enjoy our private chit chats here when they're doing other stuff. Billy and I are on a system where hopefully nobody else can hear us. I don't know if they can.
I'm a good engineer, so I keep you guys under wraps.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. But hey, guys, we're going to be back next week. Check out all the other shows, and don't forget, go to fight.tv and start looking. We're going to do 80 years in a day out in Sturgis. So start spreading the word about that.
Hey,
we'll see you right here
hang
on
on.
Bike Night Live.
One second,
What you got, Chris?
1 second, Pat. I'm sorry to do this to you, but before you guys go, I just want to remind you guys to help keep this programming going on. All you got to do is click the link and share, get the notifications up so that when we go live, you guys know that we're going live. Help us spread the word on this thing. Thanks again to Chopper Town. Thanks to everybody that's helping carry this feed. All of our great presenters. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. All right, we'll see you next Thursday night, guys. Take care.
See you later, everybody.